welcome to another interactive session with 10 counts. And today we are exclusively connected with professional Indian boxer who is also undefeated, Vedant Agarwal. First of all, thank you so much, Vedant, for joining with us. And I would just like to know that you have got a big fight on your way. So, what's going into your mind?
Sir, absolutely everything, I have been anxious and confident enough because I have been practicing for a very long time. And it's like, I'm pretty much confident that I would win this fight. So, yeah.
Also, coming into the fight, you're right now boasting a clean record of 3-0, and that too, you have attained all of your wins via knockout. So, that's actually quite a spectacular achievement. Can you please tell us about your mindset going into all of those fights? Because winning the fights is one thing, and stopping your opponents is really a different kind of thing. So, what was going on in your mind like when you attend all those three wins via stoppage?
It is absolutely, sir. For a fighter, when you get a first punch on your face, you're pretty much, you need to know why you standing on that ring. And when you know that why you standing on that ring, it's pretty much clear why you want to win for it. Like, and for me, it's like I want to make my father proud. So it's like, yeah, I'm standing there for it.
So, that's quite a statement. But what's this extra love towards knocking people out? I mean, we have seen, see, basically, there are two kinds of boxers. Like, you see, there's a section of
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder who knocks people out, and there's a section of Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward who are technically. So, what's this crave for knocking people out? I mean, there are so many boxers who just want to stick around in the ring and dance and like defend their win streak, but you have been knocking people out. So, what's this extra crave towards knockouts?
It's like that's another field to, feel dominant in the ring and, mm, when you are confident enough and you show your class, it's like knocking out is not a big problem then. And personally, I feel like one should just give their best and knocking out is another thing.
And
Yeah.
your upcoming fight is against, like, obviously, you have got a better resume than Abhishek until, but Abhishek is a technical boxer. He has got some sort of name for himself. Obviously, he has lost two fights, but he's still a good
Yes, sir.
technical boxer. So, coming to the fight, obviously, you won't reveal your game plan. What's actually going into your mind? Like, how do you see Abhishek until as your potential opponent?
So right now he's ranking above me, but I'm sure that I'm going to win this one and I'm going to give my best 100%. So yeah, I don't see that going very far away from me. So,
Yep. So you made your pro debut in 2019. You scored two big wins. After that, you have been active throughout the career. But after like January to 2020, you had to go for a long layoff, like due to the COVID and stuff. But you scored
yes,
another
sir.
big win in on your return. So how did that return impact you? Because I still remember a lot of people say that when a fighter goes into a long layoff, or especially during that COVID thing when you weren't even allowed to train outside your home, you obviously lose some sort of
Yes,
your
sir.
spark. But coming back to
Yes,
your
sir.
initial form and knocking out in your comeback fight, how did that happen?
So when, it's like it was when the COVID started in March. So it's like I was pretty much confused that how's this career going to go because it's like I was winning with my streak and everything. So, but I didn't stop myself from, it didn't stop me from practicing. I was practicing inside my house. I was practicing, on roofs and everything. So I knew that one day it's going to open. One day it's going to come to me. So yeah, I
And
was ready for it.
and you have been an active boxer, like someone who has actively accepted fight. So how does how does this activeness mean to you? I mean, when you are so much active, when you are competing yourself against the best fighters throughout the year, there's a tendency that you might lose your undefeated record. So how do you see that? I mean, obviously there are fighters who prefer to keep their records intact, padded up, but there are fighters who go for activeness, and you have been pretty active. So how do you see that? How do you see your future in the sport of boxing? Being active or like being an undefeated fighter? So both can happen, but still.
So right now I'm focusing on that, for undefeated title, I need to remain like that. And for that, uh, if I don't pick any fight, how is it going to be undefeated? It will just be 3-0 then. I have to increase that number as well. So yeah, active fight as well. I'll take fights.
And what's your aim towards fighting for a title? Because you're on a surging rise in your career, you can soon get a title shot. So, what's your plan on earning a
Surely.
title? Which is the title that you would want to go for?
So firstly, I want to go for India title, and then for Asia title, of course. And then, sir, I'm aiming big, sir. I'm not aiming any small titles, sir.
So, you've got
Because
your
if you want to dream, sorry, sir. If you want to dream, dream big or else go home.
So you have already lined up your plans, you've already chalked up the things that you're going to do, and you've already got a big fight on your way. So how did the opportunity with Dwarka boxing promotion arrive, and how did you land up in this fight card?
Sir, I've been with Mr. Rajiv ji from starting. So it's like Dwarka boxing, I've been associated with, he taught me how to make a punch and everything. So it's like, it's out of question that, that I have, that they asked me to play for them. It's like, I have been there throughout the journey. So it's like, I was with them.
And
So
it's
yeah.
kind of Rajiv ji has made a massive transition. Obviously, he was initially a coach, and he's still a coach. Like his primary identity is being a coach, but right now he has also dived into the marketing side. He is right now a promoter. So, what do you expect from him as a promoter?
Sir, of course, he's a brilliant coach because it's like within a small span, he have taught me a lot many things which many different teacher could not teach. So I really appreciate him. And also as a promoter, I think that he have a really good network. So I think he can get me a lot of many contracts rather than, going somewhere else. So yeah, I'm with him.
So it has been a phenomenal journey with you and Rajiv ji, obviously. And I had an interaction with him. He also said that he decided to stage the fight card. All the fight cards that have been made in this particular event are 50-50 matchups where anything can happen. Obviously, you appear to be the favorite, but anything can happen in a boxing scrap. So, what do you make of the entire fight card? Obviously, you are one of the prime faces in it. So, looking into the entire fight card, what do you make of it as a participant?
So for a fight card, it's like it's a great opportunity for me to get my rank really up because it's like due to COVID and all, I think ranking system also changed and my rank has slipped from rank three. So I want to get back to rank three and then above to rank one. Of course, I want to be first in India. I want to regain that title first.
And also, you're one of the member of the big boys club. Like you're a cruiserweight fighter who can move up to the heavyweight division at any point. So, do you have and you have been in there like into your training? You have carried that weight. So, do you envision yourself exploring into the heavyweight division in the future?
Sir, currently I'm not aiming for it. Currently I'm aiming for cruiserweight, getting my titles for cruiserweight because it's like I think that I can do particularly really good in this weight.
Also, like boxing has been a dangerous sport in various aspects, and weight cutting is one of the more prime aspects of it. So, when you say that you're not going to explore the heavyweight division right now, so it assures that you're going to cut down that danger from your journey. So, what what does it feel like? Just I just want you to shed some light on the dangers that you have gone through or you have heard about the weight cutting protocols in the sport of boxing, because it's extremely dangerous. So I often see fighters lose their life doing that. So how important is to control your weight and like to like a lightweight fighter, he often cuts down his weight to go to the featherweight and it doesn't look good. So what's your take on this weight cutting issue?
So it's like I've been continuous with my practice day and night. So it's like I don't have to, cut down my weight in the end of the day. So I have been around my weight around whole year. So it's like it's around nearby like 1 or 2 kg. So it's like cutting down 1 or 2 kg is not a very big deal for a boxer. Also about heavyweight, I think boxing itself is a dangerous sport, but that is what makes people indulge with it. Like that rage, particular rage within this sport, that every fighter is pretty much he enjoy that rage to get into this particular ring.
So it's kind of a rage, it's kind of emotion that you express when you get inside the ring. And like you're a youngster, you have been doing it at since a pretty very early age. So when did you realize that this is the emotion that can get conveyed only inside the boxing ring? When did you feel that? And what how did your family members react to that? when you said that, okay, I want to be a professional boxer right now?
Sir, being, it's like earlier family members used to think that it's a very dangerous sport, and I think that you should go with the family business and all. But when they realize that how much serious I am with the sport, so they let me continue with it. So they are pretty much supporting me with very good deed. So yeah.
And you have been proving all your haters wrong, because you're already doing pretty big things in the events, in the opportunities that you have been handed, and you already have got a major plans for your combat future. And this assures that the decision that you made was absolutely right. But if not a boxer, what would you have become? Like, what would Vedant Agarwal have become if not a boxer?
Sir, I have all in 100 stakes with boxing right
So,
now. So it's like I'm not thinking for plan B.
and this brings me up to a very interesting question. We often see a lot of social media stars, like in recent trends, not often, I would say, but in recent trends, we often see a lot of social media stars like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, or celebrity athletes jumping inside the game of boxing. And they have been taking a lot of big amounts of money. They are grabbing attention,
Uh-huh.
and they aren't even taking serious fights. I mean, Logan Paul versus Mayweather, it was an exhibition. Same with Mike Tyson and Logan Paul, it is being rumored. So, being a professional boxer, being a boxer that has worked his way up to the top, how do you see this thing? And what's your reaction on social media stars entering into the sport of boxing? Like, a portion of people say it's good, it's bringing a new set of audience to the sport. But there's a section of people who say that they shouldn't do this. It's a boxing game and only boxers should play. So which side are you on?
Sir, I think it's a mixture. I'm on a moderate side because it's like I think that of course we are getting new audience. Of course, money is getting more involved with this sport as exhibition match brings more and more money with it. But apparently, sir, with boxing, many people, go through a lot many things when, they are starting with boxing. So it's like it's a long journey to be there. Money Mayweather or like any sort of player like Mike Tyson, they have been through a lot of things to be there and getting that name. And someone coming and trash talking about them to get a fight, I don't think so. That's pretty much only reason to get a fight with
Yeah.
such legends, I believe.
So growing up, I believe obviously you have seen so many boxers. You have seen Rajiv Ji from the beginning. He has been a big inspiration in your life. But apart from that, who are the
Surely.
superstar, like the superstar boxers who have inspired you during your childhood or even today?
Sir, I personally think that Mike Tyson is one of the legend. But as a human being, I personally favor Muhammad Ali
Like for the
and
things that
his
he has
boxing
done. Yep.
skills. And for boxing skills, he had amazing skills at his own time. So it's like, but Mike Tyson had this thing that he never feared for anything. Like I have seen him fighting like 7 feet tall guy and laying him down on the ring. So that guy was a monster.
So obviously Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, they have got big fan bases in India. Almost every people know, and they have been big inspiration for boxers who are coming out from the country. But somehow Indian boxing hasn't still made it to the absolute mainstream audience. Like when you look into the world picture, it's just USA. The most of the boxers come from either England, Europe, or from the United States of America. So what do you feel is pulling back India from reaching that landmark? Because we have got several potential boxers who can make it to the mainstream audience, but due to some reasons, they're not being able to do that. What's the reason you believe?
So I believe this sport is just getting started with like professional sport. We are getting this name and everything, and slowly, like when all the sponsors would be, interested with it, I think that we are in a budding term. Like for example, in economic terms, also India is in a budding form.
Yeah.
Like from developing to developed country, I think this is Indian century. So I believe for boxing also, I think this is going to be the best century for India.
And as you mentioned, like we need sponsorships. Like unlike obviously you've seen what money and sponsorships can do to a sport in India. You've seen cricket
Absolutely.
bloom. Like cricket is at its peak right now. Football is doing pretty well in the country. But some are professional boxers. They don't get that sponsorships, or they don't get the setback? Like, obviously, some of the boxers are privileged to have their own finances and to continue their own career, but there are several talents who doesn't have that kind of economy to support their career, and they are in desperate need of sponsorships, but they don't get that. And how can it be resolved? Like, what's a promoter's task to resolve this thing, you believe, as a boxer?
So promoter task is to get a boxer a good contracts, of course it is. And boxer task is to perform his best in any cause. So it's like if a boxer is performing good, promoter is trying to get contacts and like sponsor sees you, like you're doing well. Of course, he's going to sponsor you to play big.
And that's the call. Obviously, you've
So
got a big fight on your way. Coming back to your fight talks, and you look favorable to win this upcoming fight. And let's believe you have become 4-0. After that, when do you want to fight next? Like this year or in early 2020? What are your plans after this fight?
so I'm planning for this year as well, one fight within this year. Like
So that's
because of COVID, it is being like very much delayed to get an Indian title. So I want to fight.
so that's actually like a lot of activeness in the end of 2021, and you have been pulling it off. And I know you have been training hard, but also there's one thing I just want to know. Apart from training, how has your diet helped you reach this benchmark? Like, what have you been eating? How have you been retaining yourself in shape? Because diet is one of the most important things. So how
Yeah,
what's your diet looks like
yes,
right now?
yes, of course. A diet is the most important thing for an athlete, and having a clean diet is much more important than anything. So training every day is something that I do, and for diet, it's like I try to keep it clean as much as I can. So there is, of course, chicken, fish, and everything. I eat non-vegetarian, so yeah.
And also apart from that, like being a boxer means you have to travel across the country, across the world, across continents. And when you do that, you come across different climates, different time zones. So how do you handle that? Like if you're traveling to a climate that is not suitable for it, or you're not habituated with it, but you still know you have got a fight on board. So you will have to reach the destination and perform. So how do you handle those climatic changes and all?
So when a boxer is on a flight and he have a like fight on his mind, so I don't think that climate is going to affect him. It's just mindset is already with the how the match is going to go and what is your plan. So I don't think so. Climate at that particular point of time is affecting you.
Also, like you already are prepared, you're well prepared, and you seem to be in the final days of your training camp. So what does your training camp look like right now? I know the main course is done, you're ready for the fight. So what are you doing in the initial stage? Like we are just 5 days away from the fight. So how does your routine look right now?
Sir, I train pretty much very hard. It's like from day and night. It's like I train around like 6 to 7 hours every day. And it's fight or not, but I do train for like 6 and 7 hours every day. Even if I don't have my fight lineup, it's the same routine. Also in nearby when I have fight lined up, so it's like I increase my rest time as well.
So you've been gunning up for a lot of possibilities, and we all know that when you enter the ring, it can be really different. So if on entering the ring you find Rahul as a different opponent, would you rush for a knockout from the very first round, or would you like to dance around in the ring and then figure him out and maybe then knock him out, or take the fight to the distance, or whatever it happens? So what's your plan regarding this particular fight? A first round knockout, or you want to take your time and then stop him?
So it's like first 30 seconds is somewhat I take to judge, and then it's all my games, how I go with that player. And if I see that the player is taking his time for 30 seconds, and that 30 second is where I knock him
So it's a very crucial stage, you're at a very crucial stage of your career. You're on the surging rise side, and it has been a great journey for you. But being an undefeated fighter, this also brings me to a notion. We have seen a lot of undefeated fighters lose their undefeated tag in recent times. Anthony Joshua lost it in 2019. Deontay Wilder lost it in 2020, and they both reacted
Yes, sir.
differently. Like Joshua accepted his defeat without making any excuses, while it was tough for Wilder to accept that defeat. And they have got there are certain reasons to do that. Like Mike Tyson said, when you have been undefeated for so long, it's hard to digest that loss. But on the other side, Anthony Joshua said that it's okay, I lost the game fair and I would accept that. So, being an undefeated fighter, if someday, unfortunately, you lose that tag, how will you react to that defeat? Like, we have seen Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua react differently. So, how will you react to it? If someday, unfortunately, because it's a game of boxing and anything can happen, how will you take that loss and how will you react if it ever happens?
So of course, if a fighter is being training for a very long time, and of course, everyone is there to win and to lose. I think everyone is there for winning. No one is there to lose. Like, कि आज जाएंगे मार खाएंगे. No, no, sir. No one is there to lose there. So it's like when a person loses out there, of course, he's learning something new, and that is what life teaches us as well.
Yeah.
In life, when you are thrown down and you don't know where to go, so it's like boxing is something very much symbolic to life. And sir, I think that I would personally take it, and I would prepare much more better for the next fight. I think I'm pretty much with Anthony Joshua in this case.
So we're almost in the final stage of our interaction. Now I would like to know that what do you want to say to the people who would come to watch only specifically you? Like, what's your message to all the well-wishers and fans who tune in to catch you in action?
Firstly, thank you very much to come and watch me. And it's like, I hope I'm not going to, waste your time. It's going to be pretty much, very much interesting fight for you all. And of course, I'm going for knockout.
So that's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. We had Vedant Agarwal, the undefeated Indian knockout artist, with us. He will be appearing in action on 31st of October against a really tough opponent. You can catch him live from the venue, or you can also tune into the official social media handles of 10 Count to catch him in action. And we wish you all the best, Vedant, for your upcoming fight. We wish that you
Thank you, sir.
continue to do what you have been doing since such a long time and hope to interact soon.
Hopefully, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It was really nice interview. I pretty much like it.
Thank you so much for joining with us. We will connect soon again.
Surely, sir.